Okay, thank you so much, Susan. Yeah, so you got the dueling Susans today, which is a rarity. So it's a good, you can't have too many Susans. Okay, so this is what I'll be talking about today. And first, thank you for your time, for your lunchtime to be here. I know how difficult that is. I had 5 things going on before showing up here with my client, and I said, if you can't talk to me by 11 o'clock, then please talk to this person. So I know it's a struggle, so I appreciate your time being here. So I'm going to talk first about the relevance of traditional project management, and then I'm going to talk about managing project risk and the importance of Agile, and then hybrid project management concepts. So this presentation, the background of it is a book that I wrote with my colleague, Mark Tolbert. Mark Tolbert is also in the DC area. I work in the DC area and the New York area. I actually kind of live in between the 2 of those, so that's pretty exciting. And I used to do a lot more travel until the last year. As everybody knows, we've not been doing so much travel, and I'm actually kind of relieved by that because it was a bit of travel that I was doing between DC and the New York area. So Mark and I wrote this book, and our idea was that there are some aspects of a project that we need Agile for. We need to use an Agile approach, and there are aspects of the project that we need to use a traditional approach. So how can we actually do these together and do it in a wise way? And so that is the theme of our book, and it is available on Amazon and through several other options. I know they were actually low on books on Amazon, which I think is a good sign. That means that people are buying our book. So if you're not able to get it on Amazon, you're interested, you can contact me about that. So that book was actually a foundation of a course that Mark and I have developed. And here are some core concepts in project management. I'll get speaking to that. I turned my video off, but I will turn it back on later. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat. I see somebody misses the travel. Yes, some travel's nice. Too much travel, probably not. So if you have any questions, post them in the chat. I will try to see them, or Susan will alert me to them. Feel free to ask a question if it's topical to what I'm talking about. I don't mind stopping to speak. And I'll also give you some time at the end for questions. So there should be plenty of time for that. And the questions is actually my favorite part. So when we think about it, what industry does project management arise from? Basically construction, from engineering. And the life cycle model in that type of industry is really waterfall and predictive. I look around my community, they're doing a lot of house construction. They're getting towards the end of that, but this community's been building out. It's a very large community, like thousands, almost 2,000 units. And so they've been doing a lot of building. And so I'm always watching them do construction. And not every house is alike, but there are some similarities and similar structures. And so you watch them put the house up, and it's sort of it makes sense for predictive planning. They kind of know we're going to put a foundation down, we're going to do this. It's very predictive. It's happened before. That actually makes sense. But when we look at other types of projects, software development projects, or even other projects like sales and marketing, a lot of these require us to be very adaptive to the environment, deal with changing requirements, and that's where we want to make a shift, perhaps. And so a question somebody's asked is, how do you apply dependency modeling into hybrid Agile? Clarify what you mean by dependency modeling. So go ahead and do that while I continue to talk. So the idea here is that when we talk about hybrid, you may have heard somebody talking about hybrid Agile before, and they're talking about mixing 2 different Agile methods. When I say hybrid project management, I'm talking about mixing Agile with traditional. Why would we do that, and when would we do that, and how would we do that is the topic here. So doing this, getting the blueprints and detailed designs nailed down before we start makes sense in that traditional model. But one of the main things, one of the main risks that comes up on a project is scope creep, okay? Well, what causes scope creep? Well, not doing our requirements well, not knowing what the requirements are. Either they're missing, they're misunderstood, there's a complexity that we don't understand, or sometimes things just change. So I have a program I'm supporting right now, and it's actually basically portfolio management. And inside of that, there are changing priorities to which projects need to get dealt with first, need to get managed first, need to get the resources. Missing stakeholders or not getting requirements of stakeholders can also cause scope creep. So we want to do brainstorming and prototyping and use this information to make sure we capture all the requirements and we engage with the appropriate stakeholders. But we could still do that and still fail. Why is that? So the stakeholders may not all be in agreement on what should be included in the project, or what are the highest priority items. Have you ever had that meeting with a bunch of customers and one person thinks priority one is a particular requirement and another customer thinks priority one is a different requirement? So that's definitely a challenge. There are different needs, different wants, different requirements from different people who are part of the customer, different stakeholders. So we need to get them all on the same page. And to do so, we have to define boundaries and exclusions. And when we move from the collect requirements to define scope processes, that's what we're trying to do. This is really the difficult part of project management. So let's look at the foundational knowledge. So we have requirements, we have stakeholder management, we have communication. How do all these work together? So we have to define the complete scope of the project in the early planning phases before starting these other phases. We also have our charter. Our charter is part of the way that we communicate. And we have our scope statement that actually comes out of that. Communications with stakeholder management. Stakeholder communications is really our vehicle for communicating with stakeholders. So we can see that these are all foundations for good project management. So what's the reality today? So in traditional project management, we have a variety of scope statements with boundaries and exclusions, and we have acceptance criteria for the deliverables. And if we do all this, if we do things the right way, yes, we could still actually fail. And so there's a quote we have here from a concept we have here from Tom Friedman's World of Acceleration. Says that technology is changing so fast.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN to earn, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.